Hi, my name is Khaled.
And I'm Cait, and we're CSI investigating the murder of Calamari. Calamari was found dead Tuesday morning, 6:30 a.m.
The body of Calamari is found dead at the back door of room 221.
A powdery substance was found in his mouth.
Also, a theft occurred between 3:30 p.m. on Monday and 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Mr. Rochon's prized M&M collection was stolen and was valued at $300.
The missing items were taken from room 221 in Fort Susan Middle School.
At the crime scene, there was a note left behind taped to the door.
And on that threatening note said, "If you keep messing with me, I'll make cookies out of the M&M."
Items collected also from the crime scene are mystery liquid.
Another item collected at the crime scene was a mystery object floating in the liquid.
And the powder in the squid's mouth.
And that threatening note.
4 suspects have been identified. One is Mr. Carlson.
Okay, I couldn't have done this. Calamari was a really good friend of mine. I have an excuse. I was in my room grading papers all day. He did touch some of my stuff every now and then, but there's no reason to kill him.
Mr. Carlson was becoming cranky, like some old people do. Calamari kept telling him that he looked old enough to be Mr. Rochon's dad. This really irritated him, since he's 50 now. Did this send him over the top?
Second suspect, Gary Schwartz.
And I'm not a big fan of Calamari because he was always asking to use my senior citizen discount, but I wouldn't hurt him.
Mr. Schwartz had been Calamari's driver's ed teacher and failed him because he was a terrible driver. Also, Calamari started to prank call him late at night, which upset him because Mr. Schwartz needs his sleep.
Third suspect is Mr. Austin.
Wasn't me, dude. I'm the cool PE teacher that listens to all the cool music downstairs and tries to make the kids run the mile. I don't even go upstairs to see the cool people.
Mr. Austin challenged Mr. Rochon to a basketball game a week ago. He lost miserably. After the game, he was heard saying that he blamed it on Calamari, who refereed the game.
Our final suspect, Mr. Yerman.
Now that Calamari, he likes to make fun of my classy hats, and I didn't like that very much, so I was kind of upset with him. And then I was in the office with Miss Urcher talking about the cookies. That, my favorite cookies were the ones with M&Ms in them. See, I really like cookies with the M&Ms and the raisins in them, because you get the soft and the chewy, and then you get the crunchy. So there's nothing like cookies with little raisins and little M&Ms in them. They're the best.
Mr. Arnell was seen in the office talking to Miss Searcher about making cookies, and how his favorite ones were the one with M&Ms in them. Was this a candy theft gone wrong? Also, Calamari made fun of his hats, which upset him greatly.
The first lab we did was density of a solid.
There were 4 objects taken from each suspect's classroom.
The block from the crime scene matched the density of object L. The second lab we did was density of a liquid.
There were 4 liquids taken from each suspect's classroom. We found that liquid C matched the liquid taken from the crime scene in density. The third lab we did was chromatography.
There were 4 pens taken from each suspect's classroom.
Here are the results. M did not spread, N spread different colors, O just spread black, and P just spread black. And the crime scene one most resembles N.
The fourth lab we did was heat lab.
By boiling the liquids, we found that the crime scene liquid and liquid C had the same boiling point. The fifth lab we did was solubility.
By dissolving the substances in water, we found that substance E took the same amount to dissolve as the crime scene substance.
Looking at our data, the crime scene data, and the chart that said which suspect had which items, we concluded that
Mr. Arnell did it!
Mr. Arnell killed Calamari.
He was brutally beaten to death with a shoe.
He also stole the prized M&M collection.
Here's our reenactment. Calamari saw me. Die!
Everyone knows Mr. Arnell's favorite game in history class, the colony game. Well, Calamari was caught cheating during the game, which made Mr. Arnell very mad.
Also, Calamari was at the scene of the crime when Mr. Arnell was stealing the statues of the M&Ms.
Mr. Yarnell stole the statues to represent his love for M&Ms and cookies, because Mr. Yarnell loves M&Ms and cookies.
There's nothing like cookies with little raisins and little M&Ms in it. They're the best.
There were 4 black pans. Liquid C had the same boiling point.
After the game, he would start saying that the gang. Third suspect is Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin.
Oh,
The first lab we performed was density of a solid.
Also, another
Oh. The first lab we performed was
there were 4 objects taken from each class.
So the 5th lab we did was solubility.
By dissolving the substances in water, we found that substance E.
Oh, was that the eyebrows?
He was brutally murdered
Mr. Yarnell killed calamari.
with a shoe. Mr. Yarnell really likes to eat cookies. Lots of cookies. And M&Ms. So,
And raisins. Eating during it, which made Mr. Yarnell very mad.